What's up everybody, 24/7 Bricks here. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode 10 of the Mini Moc Series. I'm so happy that we've made it this far. And in this video, I'm going to be doing something really different. Something that I've never done before. We're doing a new style, so it'll basically be two mocks. So you've got the first mock, which will be the top half, and then you have the bottom half, which will be the second part of the mock. And I think it will turn out really nice, so there'll be two parts for this mock. So let's just get straight into the build discussion, and I'll try to explain it the best I can. So going into the build discussion, I feel like this is going to be really tough to talk about because there's so many pieces involved. Now, the main two pieces that I have here are the dark grey and light grey pieces. These are just tiles, and I will use tiles as I'm going to be doing something quite unique. So I'm going to be using tiles as well as the dark and the light grey pieces. Moving on, for the top half of the mock, I'm going to be using the basic green. It's just the regular sort of green, and I'm going to try and contrast it with the lime green here. Now, I do feel like there are going to be a few other colours that I cannot necessarily explain right now because I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So, yeah, but there are a couple pieces that may or may not be used. However, let's just talk about the plants. Now, I'm not going to go overboard like I usually do, but I'm just going to use the grass pieces. I'm not going to go too overboard. I just want it to be a little bit simple, and I want people to focus more on the bottom half of the mock rather than the top half, because there is going to be something cool on the top half that I do have planned. Now, let's get straight into a time lapse and let's go. So as per normal, I'm going to give you guys a 360 of the Moc the best I can, because this is a fairly tall Moc and I do feel like it is a little bit fragile. But as you can see, there is a little bit of a story behind it. You got the clones invading a secret droid base here. See, there is an underground section where the actual base is. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm quite happy in general. Here you can see the clones on the top half clearing up their mess. But I am giving you guys a 360 so you guys can see all the details, so you guys can give your own opinions in the comments below. Tell me what you liked, and tell me what things I could have improved on. So now let's just get into the overall Moc review. I feel like this one was a bit difficult. It was pretty tough as I was doing it off the top of my head, and there is so much different techniques and details in this Moc, and I feel like it turned out really well. I just love it. Even though it is a lot more than what I usually do, I still classify it as a mini Moc because it's still in the mini Moc sort of scale and the mini Moc sort of boundaries, but I think this one turned out really well. I do like the antenna. That's the cool thing that I told you about in the first part of the video. As you can see, there is a lot of different things going on up there, and there is a lot of detail on the bottom half as well as the top, and I think it turned out really nicely. The clones are trying to invade the base, I guess you could say. They're all scattered around the top and underneath, trying to like clear up or get inside, and I think it turned out really well. Now, here's the view of the under half. As you can see, the clones are inside and they're attacking the droids, and the droids are trying to defend. But I think it turned out really nicely. There is a lot of snot technique used to do the paneling in the corridors, and I think it turned out really nicely. Now here's a view of the corridor itself with the lights on. I think it really creates a good ambiance, it creates the vibe of an actual base, and I think it turned out really nicely. The lights do add a really cool effect that I quite like a lot. Here you can see the CIS officer running away from the conflict, but as you can see, it turned out pretty well. I do like the top a lot. There is a lot to talk about on the top. Here is a couple of quick pictures of the top. As you can see, there's a lot of detail. The antenna array, for example, there is a lot of detail on the antenna array. The clones are currently breaking into the facility. They're cleaning up the top half. Even though the plants are basic, I do feel like they had a really nice effect to it, and I think it turned out really well. Now, I do have to say this Moc was pretty difficult as I was using a lot of different techniques that I'd never used before, mainly with the corridor in the base, but I feel like that was like a real challenge trying to figure out how to get all the good angles and stuff like that. But I think this turned out really well. I do like the effect it has, I do like the actual style of it, and I think it turned out great for what it looks like. Now, another thing I found really difficult was the hatch on top. Didn't know whether I wanted a straight hole going straight through into the base, or whether or not I should just do it how I've done it here. But I feel like how I've done it here is probably the easiest way to actually do it, as I didn't have the current pieces to actually figure out how to do a hole straight through the bottom. However, I think it turned out great overall. I think it was one of the best Mocs that I've ever done, as it's different. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, as it will help me out in the future, and stay tuned for more mini Mocs.